Now, here's one right here. Now, this wasn't in the original lineup, but I said, let me go ahead and throw it in here because I was trying to decide if I was going to do this as a pre-recorded video or as a put it in the live stream. But I want y'all to listen to what Chuck Schumer recently said. And if y'all follow Tariq on Twitter, you probably would have seen this because he posted this on his timeline recently. And also pay attention to who's behind him as he's saying what he's saying.
Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
We are in trouble, y'all. Y'all, we are in trouble. Let me run it back again just in case y'all didn't catch what he said the first time.
Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own.
That part right there. He said the quiet part out loud. Something that we have been talking about over here and on various other spaces in the new black media have been saying when it comes to them folks for years, when it comes to their low birth rates. He said we have a population of people that are not producing. That pretty much said it all. We have a population of people that are not producing. We know what he's talking about. It's a subliminal statement that he gave, but we know who he's talking about. So what's the solution Chuck Schumer suggests? That we bring in as many undocumented immigrants to fill the void. Afro said, I'm going to put a video out on this tomorrow. Cool. I can't wait to see it. Is he insane? I think, you know what? I'll answer it. Yes, he is. And anyone else that is for this. And notice it says 11 million immigrants. That is a lot of people. 11 million people. That is a lot of people. That could be the start of a small country. Hell, you wouldn't even need 11 million people. That is a small country when you think about it. Rather large when you think, nah, that's a pretty large country when you put it in perspective. 11 million people, that's a lot of people. PD Chicago B1 says everything you, Lisa, Cabrera, Tariq, and Jason Black and PBT have been saying for years. Exactly. And guess who's going to be affected? First, anyway, us. Because, we like that first line that they got to go through. Let me run it back one more time to that point.
We're short of workers.
Just to make sure I didn't hear it wrong.
We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own.
Yes. And shout out to someone in the chat actually correcting me. He didn't say producing. He said reproducing. And notice the hand gesture he used in order to suggest that. He put his hand down near his stomach and pushed outwards as if it's signaling a woman giving birth. Then you think about how they tossed out Roe v. Wade. Who was that affecting more? Chuck Schumer was talking to PC people more so than anything. He could care less about anybody else at this point. He was talking directly to PC people, specifically PC women, since they're the ones that can give birth. They said, since you are not out here having children like you should, fine. We will bring other people in illegally who will do it for you. And then they will take your spot. Now, I was looking through some of the threads that had this particular video, and of all people, of course, Matt Walsh, that POS, had to throw his 2 cents in it and talk about the whole great replacement theory. I said, how interesting that he had to throw that in there. We're not talking about that, Matt Walsh, and we know why you threw that in there. But you know what? This could be karma for them, because think about it. This is a group of people, and I'm not talking about the ones behind them. I'm talking about the people that identify Chuck Schumer does, who went around the globe colonizing every place they touched and everything that goes in with colonizing. Now here they are in a position of fear that someone's going to come and colonize them. And you know what I say to that? I feel nothing. Please put I feel nothing in the chat. Hashtag I feel nothing in the chat. Because it's them that's opening up the borders to let them in. It's not us. It's not black people that's saying open up the borders, and they open up the borders and let them come in. It's not us doing it. The unfortunate part is that we'll get affected. But guess what? So will they. See, the thing is, when it comes to PC, preferably the Dub S ones, they do all they can to try to minimize and destroy whatever it is black people are trying to do and can be constructive with. But at the end of the day, when they do that, they're also destroying themselves. But Dub S, they so deep in their feelings, they don't care until it's too late, of course. Shout out to J Dog FBA for the super chat. He said, this is why the Republicans took the House and will get them deported. Well, that could happen. However, I beg the question is it too late? The damage might already be done. Look at California. Look at California as an entire state. It is mainly Mexicans in the state of California. The black population in just Los Angeles is about 8%. 8% in California. I looked it up. It's like 8.78% if you want to get the total number. The black population in the entire state of California is like 12%. I give it about 10 more years and that number is going to be almost non-existent. Bert said, look at New York. Keep in mind, I did a video talking about how you had Mexicans and Latinos who are most likely illegal begging for them to push for a $30 minimum wage just to do unskilled labor, such as driving or riding a bike to deliver food, something that requires no skill, no fancy degree. If you're lucky, maybe not even a high school diploma. Go and leave your nation, come over here illegally, and then try to impose on something that doesn't even belong to you because you shouldn't even be here. But watch, they give it to them. Look at what Eric Adams, aka the Joe Biden of New York. I said people should have been on him when he said that. In the legislation he's about to pass. When TD showed that video of how they literally have a lot of illegal immigrants literally staying in these nice hotels and they forcing the homeless out, or how in the job circuit they have a spot where the illegal immigrants who are working in the same job as everybody else has this nice catered food for them to eat on their break. Meanwhile, in the other room, the people who are from here who are working, they look like they're eating something out of a prison. They literally are rolling out the red carpet for them. And we are the ones who are going to suffer because of it. Jay Bear said, I'm in New York watching all the whole shit unfold. And I had family in New York. I had family in New York, but some of them moved out of the state. I have friends that I went to college with who live in New York. It's crazy how the landscape has changed so much over the course of time. Still Ransom, there's still quite a few black people in the Bay Area, particularly in Oakland and Antioch. I wonder for how long, because I came across a story that I'm not going to talk about on here because I already recorded it, but it'll come next week. Where, let's just put it this way, I went in on that topic. It's something to this story that y'all are going to hear from me next week. And it's coming out of the Bay Area that really rubbed me the wrong way. And every black person who lives in the Bay Area is going to feel some type of way as well. Every black person in California is going to feel some type of way when y'all hear this story. You want to know why a lot of these states are getting overflooded with a lot of other people? Because they're sending people like the ones in the background into those places to replace the ones that were once there. Vulcan 2054 says if Trump is reelected, I hope he gets the wall built. I don't know about that. Y'all better look at what Trump said he plans on doing when he gets in the office if he wins. And it had nothing to do with building a wall, but it had everything to do with something about drugs. I might do a video about that. So y'all better be very careful about what you ask for. Because I have a feeling that the Trump that says that he's running in 2024 is a whole lot different than the Trump that was running for re-election in 2020. So y'all better be very, very careful about what you ask for. And this is not me saying or taking the heat off of the one that's currently in office. We always gonna have the smoke for that guy. But y'all better look into what Trump said he was planning on doing if he wins. The one of the first things he said he was going to do, and it had nothing to do with building a wall. Jay Berry put in the chat. He said, I heard what he said. Death penalty for those caught selling drugs. I bet you the pharma companies ain't going to fall into that category, though. And Jay Bear said, who's that going to affect? Black people, specifically black men. Think about what Stop and Frisk was for in New York when Giuliani, the gargoyle, as I call him, was mayor of New York back in the 90s. And then on top of that, here in PG County, they're about to implement a thing where they can pull over someone driving who they think has drugs on them. Not because that they know, but if they are suspicious of someone having drug paraphernalia. And for those who are unaware, PG County is majority black. For now, anyways. Lois said, does that hold for Biden's son? Good question. Oh, or as I like to call Hunter Biden, the ski sloper. The ski sloper himself. But I'll probably do a video about that. Or I may clip this and let it be its own separate video so y'all can actually hear it again. But anyway, let me get off of Chuck Schumer and move to the next story.